Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
My inspirations is my mother and my father. I was very, very close with my mum and dad because I was an only child and we don't really have a big family, so it was the three of us and we spent a lot of time together. And I see how hard that they've worked, and they've always taught me, to be honest and to do everything as well as I could do it, and they've been so supportive with me. They've bent over backwards to help me in every kind of aspect, and I think that's why I owe them a lot. And my other inspiration is my best friend, Holton. My whole life we were best friends and we played all kinds of sports together. He was a semi-professional football player. You could never see him without a football in his hand, or you could never see him doing anything other than sports, and everybody seemed like they were best friends with him because he had a great relationship with everybody, because he treated everyone like he wanted to be treated. He's a great personality and a great guy. Unfortunately, he passed away 2 years ago, and probably say the biggest thing that stands with me is, even though at times he had to deal with very tough times, you never saw it depress him. He was always smiling. Everything he did it with no regrets. He did it as well as he could do, and he had fun in everything. And that's one thing that will stay with me forever. Just the fact that we might as well do something properly or not do it at all and have fun doing it. And that's one thing that has stood out with me the most, and which will always stand with me.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can't deny me. You can decide to turn your face away. No matter something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.
When Holton passed away, messages, it seems crazy to say it, but it's almost messages are more powerful once somebody's gone, and everything he stood for while he was alive seem incredibly more powerful, and his values and everything stand out huge. And it was something that me and my friends back home all try and follow. The fact that, okay, if you're having a bad day, then you find ways to deal with it and you stay happy like you did. He's not just an inspiration to me, but for example, back home, all my other friends who were his friends as well, they were very close friends, best friends with him from different sections of our childhood life, you could say. They've started a football team up in his name, a Sunday League football team called Holton Juniors. And it's unbelievable because it's given them, through sports has given them a chance to mourn, to help the healing process. And every week they put his football shirt on and they go and play for him. And his father comes out and watches, and his father has said in the papers, and he said to other people, he says, it reminds me of when they were 10 years old running around the field. He goes, I see them all and I see them as my kids running around much bigger, But only someone with such a strong personality could have caused the reaction that he caused, and in his absence he lives on in every decision that I make. Every decision I make, I think, is how would he see it? How would he handle it? And it's just something that helps me a lot. And with my friends back home, I know they'll say the same thing that I'm saying. He had the strongest values, and that's something that I try and incorporate in my teaching, especially, is just have no regrets. Have no regrets. If you are working on something, work on it so good that when you get home, you don't sit home and say, I wish I would have tried harder, I wish I would have done this. And that's something he did. And in high school, we were always together. We played football together, and he came around to my house. We talked football together, and even though he supported Arsenal and I'm a big United fan, we never could quite agree on a lot of things. And he knew a lot more about the sport than I did. He's a semi-professional football player, and he knew things about the game. He could, analyze the game better, and I would wind him up by saying a silly comment, and he'd fall for it. But that's the only time you could get him to fall for it, when he talked about his beloved Arsenal. But as far as inspiration goes, I couldn't have asked for a better friend, and he has passed on, but everybody has learned so much from him in the short time that he was here, and I keep that with me today. And he's a very, very special person, very special person.
Some filming? Yeah. I'll just take a few things.
No way! That is absolutely class. That's very nice. What's the same?
Well, Adam told me to nominate the second.
Sure.
That's what Adam did. I went second.
Stay away from my strawberry.
He when he did pass away, it was after we played a tennis match for SMU, and I still remember the call, and I just really couldn't believe it. I really could not believe it. You always think that gun violence and gangs and drugs are in a completely different world, and as long as you're not involved with it, you think that you're not that close to it, But in reality, anybody could have been in the takeaway where he died. It could have been anybody stopping there getting food, and it was really, really, really unlucky that he was where he was. Something that I still can't get to grips with. Something that you say, so unfair, why did that have to happen? Which is Holton's reaction would have been, he would find a way to stop it, he'd find a way to improve it, he'd find a way to help it, and that was, if whatever he could do to help someone, he would. The biggest thing I've learned as well is we can't ignore these facts. We got to pay attention to everything, because you might think you're far away from something, but really it's just around the corner.